Oh, yellow. It is Tuesday, and it's Tuga Tuesdays night here. I was going to say on Gold TV, but no, we're not on Gold TV. We got the thing going, man.
That's an idea.
It's a great idea.
I'm automatic pilot, man. But no, we're here. We're on YouTube, guys. We're with my boys, with Mike D'Agostino and Derek Gomez. We're going to talk about, of course, the round 30, lap 30, 4 laps to go before the Lions will cross the checkered flag. Mikey won't like this. He would not like it, my presentation, but it's true.
I conceded this league weeks ago.
In all fairness, Mike did. Yes, he did.
Nino's talking on the broadcast about Benfica needing to win, and nobody's hoping for any more points to be dropped. That ended a long time ago.
Hey, man, I gotta give some emotion to my broadcast. I gotta give some hope, It's crazy.
There was plenty of emotion after you guys went off the air. That's when all the emotion showed up, when the fans attacked the players again.
We're gonna talk about that.
Amazing.
Crazy people, man.
Crazy.
I feel my guys were crazy here in Peru, but boy, man, those Benfica guys, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with them. We're going to talk about that. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Of course, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Ruben Amorim's trip to London. We're going to talk about.
We got to talk about that. Yeah.
Oh, the is it 38? Is it 38 goals now for Jokers? It is, right?
38
overall, right?
38 goals in all competitions.
Overall, yeah, 24 in
24 in the league.
He scored a brace again, massive lead, and we're back. We're back after a week off. Mr. Derek Gomez is gonna tell us about the story. Maybe he got some bifanas going.
You bet I did.
And I found out the Francesinhas are a Porto thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not a Benfica or Lisbon thing. But anyway, guys, we're back here to talk about our beloved Liga, Liga Portugal, Primeira Liga. Guys, I'm Nino Torres here with Mikey D'Agostino, with Derek Gomez. Like every Tuesday, we'll talk about the league. We'll do the recap. We'll do our predictions. And Mr. Mikey D'Agostino, tell me, welcome tonight. Give me your 30 seconds, your thoughts, your prayers, your whatever you want to do. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. Happy to see some of the players get to play. I was happy to see Thiago Gouveia get to play. Yeah. When Di Maria wants to turn it on, he can turn it on still. It was what I expected. I think we're really got to be in the mode to plan for next season at this point, and this is all trying things out and little by little introducing the players that are going to be here next season. I love Rafa, but his contract's up. If he's not going to resign, I don't need to see him anymore this season. Second place is where we're going to be. I don't think we're going to drop to third, and we're not going to get to first. So there's no sense in running with the old guys anymore. The rest of the season, I'd run with the youngsters.
Yes, sir. Mr. Derek Gomez, the happiest man on air right now at this very moment. Even though you know that the race is not over, we haven't crossed the finish line yet. Yeah. But there's been that 7-second lead in this race.
Two wins away.
2 wins away. That's all you need. Give me your 30 seconds, Mr. Derek Gomez. Just came back from Lisbon.
Yes. Talking about Sporting Vitoria. After once Sporting got the engine going, and they started combining really quickly, they were able to really just slice and dice through Vitoria's defense. Pote was excellent. And he wasn't just the only one. Trincão, another like great performance. This is the best version of Trincão that we've seen so far. Again, the midfield, Bragança has just been. Again, this is the best Bragança we've seen so far. So there's just a lot of guys right now that are playing at a really high level. Combined with, you also have to look at Vitoria's strategy, and I don't think that their strategy was right for the game. I know that you had mentioned that they didn't seem focused. I think that they were too focused on just cutting off passing lanes, and they really weren't concerned with having the ball. So what they did is they basically, I think they just deviated way too far away from who they are.
Exactly.
And I really do think it was sort of like they sort of self-destructed themselves. I mean, the only time you really saw them play better and start to attack a little more, get into the final third, was when it was 3-0, and at that point the game was over anyway. So yeah, it was just a convincing win. When I was over in Lisbon, and I went to Stade Luge and talked to some Benfiquistas, and we also, I was watching the Family Count Sporting game over at the hotel bar, and you could at that point, that Sunday night, the Moreirense game, there were still Benfiquistas there who believed that it could still happen, but they really hung their hopes on that Family Count game. And you could just tell when I'm watching the game with some of them, and when Poch scored that goal to make it 1-0, you could just see the life just drain out of them. At that point, they knew, because no one really thought Vitória was going to go into the Alvalade and win.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're just looking at it. It's 2 wins away. Your 2 home games are against Portimonense and Chaves. And you couldn't really ask for 2 better opponents. Both of them have given up over 60 goals apiece.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pat myself here because I've been saying this since
round 3.
Round 3. Since round 3, baby. I call it. I totally call it because I saw it coming. And I know that you've been through lots of disappointments, lots of that endings.
I can't count.
But I was certain. I was, this is
you got it right.
When they added Gyökeres, it was for me at that point. I was so impressed with the guy, and this is a weapon that no one else has in the league. No one, even though Di Maria was shining on these early moments of the campaign, right? But it still was like, okay, this is another level of danger that I don't think that anybody in this league is ready, right? But now I'm gonna talk. The Portugal guys are not here. Portugal guys are not here. Unfortunately, Rui is what is it? Pneumonia, or something bad. Really bad.
Yeah. Oh man!
And Jason, I think the baby's coming. He's playing 15 soccer games a week, and the boy, the guy's busy. The guy's busy.
Yeah, they are busy.
But but they're here. Hopefully, they're here next week. But of course, I want to take my chances to bash on their team a little bit, because that visit to Rio Mayor, it was just another example of Porto's season, how it's just been a complete struggle from the beginning to the end. And you know what's sad? That's really sad? That there are 2 players that make me sad right now. One is May Taremi, because now he's in the last 5 games, last couple of games, and the remaining of the season, the next 4 rounds, he's gonna play. And he's playing well. He's been back to be himself again. He got an assist. He got scored 3 goals in the last 4 rounds. That's the May Taremi that we know, and that's the May Taremi that we're gonna miss. We're not gonna miss the other ghost, right? The ghost that you couldn't even.
I'll miss the ghost.
Right, we're gonna miss the 25 goal season guy.
Yeah, no, I think he's one of the top reasons. I think he's one of the top reasons why Porto is in the position that they're in. I mean, last year he scored 31 goals in 51 appearances. Mm-hmm. This year there was, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even think he's hit 10 yet. So, and they were not able to. They were not able to. They didn't replace his production because they just cast away, Fran Navarro. And I think that is, if not the number one reason, one of the top reasons why they're in the position that they're in right now. They weren't able to replace, his production. And it was really because of him. It started out at the beginning of the season with him. It was already like, with 1 foot out, and then over the transfer window he goes and signs for Inter. I mean, he really just he really hurt this team this year. And hey, I'm happy about it. But I'm sure the
of course you are. Of course you are. Hey, Mikey, talking about strikers. We're talking about strikers, and then these late performances in the into the season. Mr. Arthur Cabral, now he decided that he could be. I don't want to say fantastic. Fantastic is not the right word for this guy because but he's been playing well. He's been playing well too.
You just gotta put the ball so that he can heel it in. That's all.
You know,
that's the heel.
So how many heels?
I think he's got 4. I think he's got 4. I think so.
4, right?
I think it's 4.
That was a nice goal though.
Yeah.
Man. That was a sweet goal, man.
Yeah. He's a tough fit for the way the team want to play. It starting to look not starting. It's becoming obvious that he was kind of a panic buy at the end of the market because Gonçalo Ramos left and the guy we wanted went to Fiorentina. So naturally we went to the guy that was at Fiorentina. And you would think you'd get more production out of a striker from Fiorentina who had double-digit goals last season. But again, those goals came in the Conference League, so maybe it's not all you expected. But it was a disappointing season for him. And I know I backed him a lot because I thought that if you insisted and you kept going with him, he would find that form. But Roger didn't go with after a while. He started going with Tenkstedt again. So it's like there was just no consistency all season at the striker position. So it's hard to really judge any of them because they all got like partial opportunities. And as soon as a game didn't go their way or 2 games didn't go their way, they were yanked. Another one, and it was just a constant rotation of the 3 of them.
Right.
And
I mentioned you might be in the broadcast. You heard me?
Yeah, you did. And I don't think Marcos Leonardo got a fair shout this year. So that's who I think should start these last 4 games. Give him his opportunity now because you got nothing to lose. And Artur Cabral is saying either Schmidt leaves or he leaves. So at that point, I don't know why you're going to play him anymore.
I think they're going to leave.
They probably will. But still, you don't need that on the pitch at this stage of the season. If that's where the guy's at, then he's not focused on what he's supposed to be doing on the pitch. So I would go with Sugar Ray Leonard, as you call him. I would go with him and see what he can do. See what he can do in 4 years. And again, I really want to see them start building to next season and start finding. I think
next season is going to be better for you, way better.
I think we're coming into the season better than the other 2 teams, given what's going to happen in the offseason. Not perfect, but I think we should be in a better spot to start the season. But we have an opportunity to kind of start the ball rolling now and start figuring out, who's got to get out of here and, give them their opportunity to fail before you cast off these players. Maybe somebody might surprise you.
Yeah, no, somebody will for sure. Now, Mr. Gomez, I wrote this to you. I sent you a text message, right? About no Jota Silva, no party. For Marais. I think for me I was really shocked when I
was shocked too
when it showed up, because you're really gonna send a message to who, but by benching this guy. I mean, he's your MVP of the season, and they having the chance to just basically ruin the championship for Sporting by using your best man. Like he didn't use it, and like you said, I think that they were more focused on stopping Sporting than Victoria Guimaraes actually creating their own game, their own offense. It's been fantastic, and I want to say one of the best 2 teams, one of the best 3 teams. I want to say since the beginning of January. But what's your take on the game, on this victory over Victoria Guimaraes?
Yeah, no, I think it was just, a complete, very, competent victory. It was the good performances up and down the pitch. It was great to see Victor score again. But I mean, it was just like his 2 goals were just examples of beautiful collective goals. Just like quick combinations, quick pass, like Porte's little slip pass to him. And then, we struck it right in. And then, in the second half, that quick combination play got it to Trincão outright. And then he just, crossed it in. And then, Victor just tapped the goal. It was just a good example, just great example of, great team play. And that's just what Sporting's doing right now. They're riding high. They're super confident. And it's great that they continue to, through this game. But I mean, again, watching it, and watching, Victoria over the last couple of months, and, watching, the evolution, the progression of Jota Silva. I did expect more from them. I just think that they, as much as Sporting won this game, Victoria lost this game too. They were just, at one point, you pointed it out in the telecast, Sporting had 75% possession. Guys, they didn't want the ball, and that's just not Victoria's, or the way Victoria's been playing lately. They weren't as adventurous as they. They just beat Porto 2-1. What, like 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
Yeah.
Or they were a lot more, adventurous. They have a lot more ambition. And then this game, I think they were just really hoping, to hold this to 0-0 for, as long as possible, and maybe get something on the counter. It's almost like I think they respected Sporting too much.
And you know what else?
Eric? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No. But you know what else? They said Victoria Guimarães is I think this kid, Caio Cesar, he felt the responsibility to carry the offense basically by himself, and not having Jota right next to him. He's a good sidekick, right? He's a sidekick of Jota, but him carrying the load.
Plus, they're already missing Ricardo Mangas, who is and he's a good winger. He's a good guy to have on the wing. So you're already missing, that key player. So you really do need to play with Jota Silva. But they didn't. They put him in when it was 3-0. I'm like, all right. At this point, it's pointless. But
it is.
Again,
and guys, you see that comment right there?
Because I was watching.
Yeah, I see your comment.
In Portugal.
That's my mama.
Yeah. I was watching the Taça in Portugal. Yeah. And I know when they took Jota out, Jota was very, visibly upset.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that rubbed the coach the wrong way, and the coach wants to, show everybody who's boss, show that the team that no players above the team. But they basically sacrificed the best team in the nation. They sacrificed this game, and like you said, third place is out of the question now.
No sense. Now that you mentioned that message to the team, we're gonna go with Mikey and a player that is also he came back from Siberia because they put it on the freezer, right, to Mr. Coxu after his unfortunate words that he said, and he's been just the Coxu that you need him to be.
Yeah.
He's been playing well.
Yeah. If there's one thing I can commend the club, is they handled that as well as they could. They didn't make an emotional decision. They let him go off to his national team. They let things cool off. They made the smarter decision because we're going to need him in the future. You're not going to be able to sell a player that's disgruntled for what you want to get anyway. So integrating him back into the team was a good move. And he's playing the position he wants, so now he's going to be happy, and it's showing. He's giving better performances. Of course, it's late in the season, but I still wouldn't take that over what we got from Rafa for 2/3 of the season from Rafa. I understand why he wasn't the guy up until this point, but now here's his chance to take the position and to be the guy going forward in that position. And this is his opportunity. Just
now that you mentioned position, so finally, Mr. Ragnar got to play on his original position, right? Because Carreras got to play left back, so you got a left back. You got Ragnar, the Viking, on his original position,
right?
Left mid, and that's the It's crazy, right? It took him the whole season for their trust.
Yeah, but you don't get to play against Ferenc in the Europa League and in the you couldn't go with Carreras in every game either. I mean, I understand why. He started against Rangers at home, and Tavernier was destroying him all game. So I mean, I understand why he wasn't against Ferenc. It's a different story. But I think with Carreras, if he gets playing time now, and if he comes back next season, and that's his position from the start of the season, I think you're going to see a much better version of him, anyways. And I think it's his position.
You still need a starter in that position. You're going to go have to buy one.
I think right and left back, we need one more for each because Bach can't play all the games. So, and now he's starting to look good again. I mean, now that it's there's not much to play for.
I know.
But he's just always either injured or coming back from injury. He hits his peak, then he gets hurt again. So we need another right back to supplement him. And of course, we need to figure out the striker position. I think if those three questions get resolved, next season could be completely different.
Yeah. I mentioned that on the telecast. About the what is this? The grocery list for Benfica on this summer. All right, can I get a left back? Give me 2 right backs and give me please a striker.
Yeah,
and strikers. You know who scored this last round? He scored a banger, man. Rodrigo Pinho. Rodrigo Pinho scored a massive goal over the weekend, man. And what happened with Rodrigo Pinho, man? Because you bought him.
I know.
And,
that was a JJ
guy. A year in advance, and then when you finally got him, you didn't use him. You loaned him, and it's kind of like a Frank Navarro scenario.
That was a Jorge Jesus guy. I don't know what happened. I mean, he wanted him, and then he left. He got sacked, and he never. Yeah. I mean, he ended up at Botafogo, I think, right?
I think he played one game or something.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot. He got injured. He did get injured when he first came. He played. He scored a goal. I remember. Scored a goal, I think, at Maritimo, and then he got injured and was out for several months. And then never got back into the team after that, really.
Sort of like a Yonder Cadiz. I mean,
that's the same thing that happened to Cadiz.
Same scenario. Yeah.
He got hurt in a preseason game, and that's all he ever played.
Yeah, that was that.
Jesus, man. Jesus. Now we're talking about goals, of course. Talk about my boy here, Mauricio Ruano, who is a Sportingista as well as Derek. He's mentioning this, right? Joker Spotty and Paulinho together had the same goals in the league as the entire Porto team. 55. And not only that, Lloyd posted something else today. The goal differential for Sporting is the same goal. It's the same. What is it? 60? It's plus 60.
It's 60, right? 60. Yeah.
60.
87, 27.
27, correct.
Yeah, and that's a bigger number than the entire Porto squad. Also, the goals that scored this season.
It's what we talked about 10 minutes ago. It's Taremi.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't
missing his 20 goals. They're missing his 20 goals.
20.
They are missing his goals.
Yeah, but you add that 20 goals to that, and you'll be in a different position right now.
Yeah, probably having a different conversation right now.
Oh, they'd have 7, 8, 9 more points.
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, it came down to Aroca and Estrella. I mean, out of a possible 12 points, you take one.
Right in those 4 fixtures. Yeah.
I mean,
one. That was just.
You'd expect them to at least take 10 out of those 12. Yeah. It would just be. It'd be a different league right now. But just those 4 games, you don't have to look any further.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you, Mr. Derek Gomez. All right, Mr. Jinxer. Right? You always, looking to the half empty side of the glass, right? You're gonna tell me the truth. You gotta be honest with me, okay?
You can't blame me.
Tell me when is it that when you felt like, okay, we're gonna win this thing?
The Benfica game. Jenny's goal.
Yeah.
Jenny Catama's goal.
Yeah, goal. Yeah. At that point, you knew this is the team of destiny. Yeah. But I mean, it's been a dream season, man. We just over the last 17 games, we've won 16. We have one draw. It's just a dream season. I know that again, I was at the Stadio Luge and they called out Roger Schmidt's name, and it was just a chorus of boos and jeering. And yesterday they played freaking good. They played great against Fidesz, and they threw a bottle at him.
Yeah.
It's like if Benfica wins out, which I think that they might win these last 4 games. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll finish with 85 points. They
only
won
2 less than last season.
Last year they had 87.
Yeah.
87,
so this is not like they're making it sound like, Benfica.
The season before, Portugal with 87 points. So.
You would think from the fans that Benfica is fighting for relegation. Like
literally.
Like, I mean, it's not so much Benfica losing this league as Sporting just having a 100%. Dream season.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is what it's about. I mean, if Sporting replicated last season, they had 74 points. I mean, Benfica would win the championship easily, and Roger Schmidt would be a hero. He'd be, he'd win back-to-back titles. But instead, they're vilifying this poor guy. It's
Mikey. I mean, I know the this outburst at the end of the game in Fado. I mean, doesn't have any explanation. There are a bunch of people that really don't understand the sport, don't understand what it is to be a fan, to be a true supporter. But why is I mean, this is outrageous, of course, right? But I want to ask you this to understand, to help me understand the Benfiquistas mindset. Okay, I know that you're the winningest team in the nation and everything else, but it's the same way in every country. The bigger team, the biggest team, also gets the most criticism. The fans are delusional, but that's a Benfiquista. Why is this anger towards to the players?
I think a lot of it's at Schmidt. And Schmidt doesn't do what they want. He comes from a different culture. He does things differently, and they're not understanding. They're not accepting it at this point. They don't like that he's calm and he keeps his hands in his pockets. I understand not liking decisions he's made. Every manager lives with that. You pick your players, and how people aren't gonna. There's no lineup you can put out that's gonna please everybody, but they want him to say certain things that he's just never done. This is nothing new. He's never
understand what he's saying.
Well, that too, but he's not going to go in the press conference and placate to supporters and pander to them. He's not going to beg for their approval. He's not going to beg for their forgiveness. He has a different way of looking at things.
Yeah.
And I tend to look at it the way he does. I mean, everything he said that they're angry about, I agreed with. He said, these are not fans. These are not Benfiquistas. I prefer they stay home. I also prefer they stay home. Yeah. If you're going to throw things at players and at coaches, I prefer you stay home too. That accomplishes nothing. The time to voice opinions will be in June at the General Assembly. They'll have their time to voice their opinions. This club is run on elections. You can vote every 4 years. That's where you make those stands. It's not from the stadium. You pay whatever you paid to go to this match. And they went there for the reason to do that, because the match did not call for that reaction.
No.
They're mad about losing a penalty shootout a week earlier. They were mad when we won against Marseille at home. Okay, you got the whistles, even though we got the win.
No, won.
Yeah, I am representing Club America tonight. I have that on. Every time I peek away, that's what I'm looking at. But what I was saying, it's just, it doesn't help anything. When players get a 2-1 win in the first leg and they're whistled off the pitch, that doesn't make them go into the second leg saying, "Oh, I got to win for these guys." When you're throwing things
Roger
at them,
mentioned that too. Yeah.
that's not going to say, "Oh, what a great club I'm at," and other players going to be like, "Oh, I want to go play for that team. Look at them." Exactly. And people say, who, like one guy said, "Yeah, fire Schmidt. Who wants to come work here under these conditions right now?" Yeah. And I think there's a belief in people's mind that this is how you get effort out of people, and it's just not. Yeah. It might have been 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It doesn't work today. These players don't respond to that. These coaches don't respond to that. Again, throwing things, I mean, you should be banned from going to stadiums. If you take an object and you throw it at anybody on the field, there's no zero tolerance for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. There's no result that justifies that. You're angry. You can be angry. You can even shout. I mean, I don't like it, but I understand if you're going to shout. But when you start throwing things and, it's embarrassing. And there's an entitlement in the fan base. I have to admit, I call it out when the other clubs do it. So I can't sit here when it's my club and pretend that, there's a great reason for this. No, it's entitlement. They think that everything, when you invest, they want the club to invest money. When the club invests money, it's like they want a 100% record. And like Derek said, Sporting is just having a great season. They're gonna go close to 90 points. That's, they might even get 92 points if they win these last 4 games, which is very possible the way they're playing.
Very likely.
That's out of the ordinary. Okay. Usually the league is won at 85, 86, 87 points. And we're right there.
It is.
The margins. Yeah, the margins are so tight. I know the performances haven't been good, but we're looking at them with the eyes of being in second place and being 7 points behind, and not necessarily with what's happening in front of our eyes. Yeah. In my opinion, people are going to disagree with me. I'm really tired of fighting with fans this season about this stuff, because you just can't reason with anybody. It's all about yelling and being angry, and everybody's got to be fired. All new players, that doesn't work in the long term. You get one season when that's another how. Everybody wants Mourinho now, and I guarantee the first slip up, everyone will want him out.
Yeah,
he's also not going to stand there and let you yell at him either. Like,
no, that's not his.
You know him.
He's gonna say the same thing, that these are not fans and they should stay home. He tells it like it is, and they like him now, but it makes no sense. We have a club with a youth program that's prospering, and we want to bring young players in. Mourinho's not that guy to coach young players. He never has been, and he admits it.
Never will be. Yeah.
Read his books. He admits it. He doesn't pretend to be a guy who brings along, academy players. No, he's not a developer. No. And we can't just every time we have a bad season abandon everything we are and our whole model to go win one title and then the next year be right back where we are right now. And when people say we need
this hasn't been a bad season.
It hasn't been that bad. I agree. And it's like when they say we want X, Y, or Z coach, I said, fine. In 12 to 18 months, we're going to be right back here having the same problem unless everything goes perfectly. And, again, you invest the money, sure, but that doesn't guarantee anything. That doesn't guarantee that it's going to work. And if the club doesn't,
that's not to Man City. That's not to the guys from the PSG.
Right? Man City, yeah. It's like
over $1 billion, man, $1 billion euros.
Exactly. And if they don't invest, if they stick with the guys we have, and we just invest in what we have and give it time to grow, they're not going to have the patience for that either. They're going to say the club's not ambitious enough. When the club's ambitious, it's incompetent. It's like there's always something negative to point to, unless everything goes perfect. It's like, again, I'm ready for the season to be over.
I know. And I read your comment out loud, man.
That's why I said it. I'm hearing Nino's excitement, and I just feel bad. And I'm like, I didn't even really get excited about our goals. I just said, okay, nice.
Right. You know what, Derek? So we were talking about the coach, Mr. Roger Schmidt. We're talking about now Ruben Amorim. He went to London.
Yes.
He got back. He's having openly the talks about his future. What do you feel about the moment? I mean, what do you feel? How do you feel about the timing that he's doing this right now? Is
super pissed?
Are you okay with that? Are you?
No, I am super pissed. I am super pissed because 2 weeks ago at a press conference, he said, I am not talking to any clubs. I'm not negotiating with any clubs. He said this 2 weeks ago. This wasn't 2 months ago. It was 2 weeks ago. And the press conferences that he's had, over the last month has been about focusing on the games, focusing on how many wins that we need, staying united,
and then boom,
focusing on winning the championship, knowing that, that we can still lose this thing. And it was just like the focus on the games, focus on the team. So what do you go and do? You cause this gigantic, it's a distraction, and that's all this is. You're going to tell me that in the age of, Zoom calls, you can't have a discreet call with the West Ham or a Liverpool or whoever. You know that if you get on a private,
we can have you here on the show, right? We can have you here on the show, right?
I mean, if you get on a private plane, there's going to be reporters.
They're going to get pictures.
This is their jobs. This is what they make a living on, is to crack these stories. So I mean, this is now it's out there. And I'll tell you right now, Saturday's press conference before the Porto game it's gonna have nothing to do with Porto.
It's all gonna be about
question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is gonna be like, oh, what did you do in London? Who did you talk to? What happened in London? So what's gonna happen next year now? So that's what's gonna be the topic. It's just gonna be, this is a giant distraction. And I think I have the utmost respect for Ruben. I think Ruben has been, for the most part, a really honest, upfront guy. And for him to go and do this, after, what he's been preaching over the last month, what he talked about 2 weeks ago at the press conference about, about not talking to teams, to go in and do this right before the Porto game, when we still haven't clinched the title, is just, I was just like floored by it. I was shocked. I was just like, I was disillusioned, man. I mean, and again, I've always had the utmost respect for Ruben. For me, to make a statue for the guy, man. I mean, he's going to win. To be a coach and to win a title at Sporting right now is a massive accomplishment. But to win two titles is, this hasn't been done in over half a century. So, I mean, this is, it's a massive milestone. So I mean, again, he's revolutionized Sporting. He's made Sporting relevant again. Forever. He's etched his name into Sporting's history. Forever. But this is something totally off character. I can't believe he did it. And
the club gave him permission, obviously, too.
This is just a distraction. And I'm shocked, disillusioned, and I'm really surprised that he did it. I would never think that Ruben would do this, but
really
he did.
Okay, when I saw that, what was that? Was it today? No, yesterday, right?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah.
It was yesterday. I saw the news. I was like, I don't like the moment. I don't like the timing.
I can't believe he did it. I really can't.
Of course, Mike is happy about it, right?
You know what, though? I agree with everything Derek's saying, though, and I'm surprised the club okayed him to make that trip also.
Yeah.
But this is how the Premier League really works. They don't care about anybody else. They disrupt teams all the time when they have a target. They don't relent. They have their target. They're going to go for it. They throw money in front of people, and people make decisions based on that. And it's really an elitism of the Premier League. It's really turned me off to this league, to be honest. The last 3 or 4 seasons, I've watched less of it as it's been stronger. But it's just I don't want to watch it because all my favorite players end up there. And then, you want to see teams build, and you want to see teams become strong and challenge. And They come in and just take, like they're fishing, and they take everything out.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's where the game is. That's where the money is. And you can't tell a professional not to go for a bigger payday. But,
right? No, you can tell.
This
Could
have easily been done the Monday after the title was clinched.
Of course, we're a month away from the end of the season.
Yeah, and you still got a cup final to prep for. It's not a good look. And like Derek said, and if they don't win on Sunday, this is where it's all going to go, and all of the fingers are going to be pointed at this. If they don't win the cup later in the next month, they're going to talk. Oh, he's already got his head at West Ham. He's already got 1 foot out the door.
1 foot in West Ham. Yeah.
We've seen this with coaches in our league so many times, or even players that sign these early contracts, these pre-contracts, and then you have big games. They don't perform, and the fans go crazy. I don't think that the sport is gonna lose the title because of this. Not the title.
No. I mean, the team is above.
They could lose the
team
cup.
Is focused. There's tremendous focus and confidence in this team. And I do feel that they're going to win. I think they're going to win at least 3 of the final of remaining 4 games. So I mean, I think that the title is pretty much in the bag. But it's just the way. I mean, again, Ruben's been with us for over 4 years, and the way that he's conducted himself, this is totally off character. This is out of left field. I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that he did this.
And we don't know if anything is already signed. I mean, we don't know
a pre-deal, or
verbal deal. It's gotta be a commitment that it's not out there yet. Mr. What's his name? The Italian guy, Fabrizio
Romano. Yeah,
Romano. Yeah, he's gonna come up with something, and most likely he's gonna come up with something soon. And that's when we will know. By the way,
listen. I mean, I'm not naive to the fact that obviously that there are some conversations going on. I mean, obviously there is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not naive about that. But I mean, it needs to happen discreetly. We're talking about a title race. We're talking about Sporting winning a title. And they're so close, and the focus should be on that and enjoying this moment. And he goes and does this. I mean, out in the open. It's just it's a really bad look. It's a distraction, and I think that I'm just like I said, I'm really disillusioned. And it's highly regrettable. And especially for a guy that I look up to, like I did with Ruben, he's just been so exemplary, like the way he conducts himself, the way that he's been, his press conferences, how he leads by example. And for him to go and do this it was like getting slapped in the face, man, or getting punched in the gut. Seriously, man, it really, I was flipping, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else about Benfica. It just came to my mind because I was calling that game, and I said it on air because I threw the question out there on air about who would you like to sign as a striker next season. I was asking people to send me names, and somebody told me this name that I was so excited about it. And I want to ask Mikey what he thinks about this player, Santiago Jimenez, is striker for Feyenoord.
That's who we wanted all summer. It didn't happen last summer for whatever reason, and that's why we panicked and went for Arthur Cabral, and then panicked and went for Marcos Leonardo. So I mean, Santiago Jimenez is who we wanted. I don't know why the price went up. For whatever reason, the deal didn't get done last summer. That was the target. If he's still interested, I mean, that would be a huge signing. But again, we have to get rid of 2 of the guys we got there now. We got to make room for them, and we can't keep these all these high salaries when only 1 striker can play at a time, maybe 2, depending who the coach is. But yeah, I'd be very happy to see Santi Jimenez at Benfica, but I don't have my hopes up. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be more expensive than he was a year ago, And
yeah.
whatever the reason was, the deal didn't get done last year. I don't know what we could have possibly done to, get past that this time around. And I mean, in the end, we may just pay more money. Maybe that's the hurdle. But and then we're going to go to the other thing. He's going to come in, and now he was bought for 40 mil instead of 30. And the first time he misses a breakaway, here we start this cycle all over again.
What a waste of money!
What a waste of money! Exactly.
Right?
It's it's such a vicious cycle right now.
Yeah.
That when things are like this,
like luck plays such an important part, and I don't think people realize how important luck is. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at Gyökeres. I mean, he was playing in England.
Yeah.
He was right under everybody's nose.
Yep, and they didn't.
I mean, you have like the bottom teams of the Premier League can pay more than Sporting can.
Yes, they can.
Nottingham could have paid him. I mean, Southampton could have paid more. I mean, it was just luck. It just ended up, working out. I mean, I thought Artur Cabral was a great pickup because before the team days, I have a close friend who's actually from Switzerland. His son plays with my son. And he was a big Basilea fan, and he loved Artur Cabral.
Yeah, Artur was there, yeah.
So we spoke. So I thought that was like a good pickup. I mean, it hasn't, panned out. It was, there was just, the stars weren't aligned. It just, luck plays such an important role in this thing. I mean, Ullman was playing for Lecce. He was playing at a team that's fighting for relegation in Italy. Any team in Italy, could have picked him up, but they just didn't. And, he ended up being, an absolute jewel for Sporting. But we can go back to the JJ days where it's like every freaking player Benfica got from South America ended up becoming a massive freaking hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Saviolas. It's
in those days.
I mean, we can just go, the Taco Raj.
Yeah,
can go with, we can go.
I'd take him today.
And then Salvio and Saviola and Pablito Aimar, and everybody was a freaking hit.
Yeah.
It just the stars were freaking aligned. It is what it is, man. Luck plays such an important role in this, and this year, Sporting hit the jackpot. It is what it is. Next year that might not be the case.
Next year, we could have all three teams at 80 points, at 80, 81, 82 points, and whoever wins is going to be happy about it. They're not going to be like, oh, Sporting had 91 points last season. It's all relative to what, it's not just what you do. There's teams, you only get to play them twice. You can't stop what they're going to do against everybody else.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, we mentioned about the players and how the Jokers escape from the guys in the Premier League. I want to say this. I think that the Benfica, Porto, and Sporting, and many other teams in the Primera Liga too, like the guys from Famalicão, I think they have the best scouts in Europe, I would say. I would say that the Portuguese league has the best scouts in Europe because they are the ones that are getting these players early to get them from before everyone else, and it's just that's the luck factor there, of course. But you gotta go together with hard work and how much you follow the players and everything else. But what do you think about this? About this team? You guys have the best scouting department in Europe or not?
You can certainly argue it. Yeah.
You can argue it. Most of our fans don't think so, because they only pay attention when things don't work out. Scouts only get mentioned when someone quote unquote flops. That's when the scouts get mentioned. I think you're right. I think what the teams in the Portuguese league are it's getting tougher and tougher to compete financially for those players that they spot. Because now it's not just competing with European leagues. It's Saudi Arabia. It's MLS. There's money there now. And the Portuguese league can't compete with those, most of the budget.
Makes their picks so much valuable because
Yes, exactly. So when you do get one of them, he has to hit. Otherwise, here we go. It's you get labeled a flop by the second, third game if you don't deliver. And there's a big adjustment from going from South America to playing in Portugal. It's a different game. There is an adjustment period. I can remember Di Maria arriving as a teenager, and in the first season, it didn't hit right away. It took time.
Right.
Freddie Adu was ahead of him for a little while in the team. I mean, that's where it started. It takes time, and the one thing Portuguese fans don't want to give anybody is time.
It's time. Yeah.
It's like if you don't win the first 6-7 games out of the gate, your fans are already starting to call for the coach's head. They're starting to say the season's over. It's insane. I mean, it's insane.
Windows are being broken. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it is a product of 3 teams dominating, historically, and every the top 3 are almost shoot in. You get a surprise every once in a while, like a Braga breaks into the top 3. Someday I'd like to see Vitória break into the top 3. But it just, it doesn't happen that easily. And with that, what happens is any points dropped are treated like you're throwing the title away. If you're not in first, you're panicking. At least that's how Benfiquistas have been all season. And I know, Derek knows Sporting had a tough season last season, but they made it work at the end. They started to put it together, and they built for this season, and they prepared themselves to do what they did this season. And sometimes it takes that time, and fans do need to have some patience with these teams, because it's not as easy as it looks. I know it looks easy to play against a Casa Pia that puts, 2 lines of 5 and a goalkeeper in front of you, and there's nowhere to go. It looks easy, but it's not easy. It's just not. And some players, really, if you're coming from another country, it's hard to adapt to that, because you got no space to play, and you got to play that much faster. So,
when you're talking, when a champion needs 88, 89 points,
exactly, out of a possible 102.
Yeah, it's easy to, it happens. You're gonna drop points, and you drop 2 points at Vila do Conde, or you go to Famalicão and drop 2 points. It's again, these teams are tough to beat at home. And you lose those points, and it's so amplified because the champion gets 89 points.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you draw a game, it's the end of the world.
You lose more than like 3 games, it's hard to win the title.
You're out. You're out.
It's turn call.
That's the number 3. If you got 3 more than 3,
is right.
Like 3 is the cutoff. Yeah,
you're done.
You can't lose more.
Really is.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Now, speaking of winning, speaking of losing, speaking of these victories and how hard it is in the Primera Liga, I just realized this, that outside of the top 4, all right, the only team that won was Gil Vicente. Only one victory.
Everything else
the only team outside of the top 4.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's Gil Vicente. No one else. No one else. And in this stretch of the championship, where the everyone from, I want to say, from the 11th place and down, I want to say here Rio Ave, I want to say, well, Farense got 31 points, but this is the goal differential that's going to be crazy. So I want to mention about the relegation. Relegation playoff spot, because after what happened with Chavez and Vizela, they're done. They're done.
That's another great example from our league.
They're 6 feet under.
And the thing is that Gil Vicente, with that victory, they can breathe now. They can breathe. They stop the bleeding after losing 4 in a row. And then by losing 4 in a row, and now with 1 W, they're in the 11th place now. They're in the 11th place.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you catch up a bit on these lower tier teams now. But okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question here. So out of the most likely teams that will be fighting till the last very second, Boa Vista, Estoril, Estrela Amadora, which one will trade places with Portimonense if they do? or is it going to be Portimonense? I think it's going to be Portimonense.
It's
I
definitely.
think
I
it's going to be
I'm 90%
Portugal,
sure it's Portimonense. Yeah.
but
Uh,
it wouldn't
Well,
shock
I'm
me if
gonna say
Boavista
I wouldn't shock.
crap.
I mean, Boavista is very vulnerable.
That's the one I wouldn't shock me if they completely
Yeah.
imploded at this point.
Yeah, they're very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you said Boavista.
They're only safe by 2
well,
points. So
Yeah.
and they have a
And
minus 21
and
goal
also
difference.
they got
Didn't
the
they
worst,
just?
the worst goal differential.
Yeah,
And they
minus
just
21.
brought in Georges Simon to be the coach. I'm like, what are these guys doing?
Mhm.
What is the point of that?
Again, would it have been that bad to just stick with Petit all season?
Yeah.
I don't understand this
Yeah.
mentality of always change. They think changing a coach automatically lands you points, and it could
Yeah.
further make the problem worse. And I mean, we'll see at the end which team ends up going down. But
I think
we're going into the
he
playoff.
signed a 6-week contract. I'm like, this only in Portugal.
I mean, even in the Brazilian league, there's 3 months is like the shortest you can get.
Now, what's this guy's name? The savior. I forgot the coach. The shorty. Vidigal.
Vidigal, yeah, Lito Vidigal.
Vidigal. No,
Yeah.
he's the only one who takes those contracts, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he makes a living of avoiding relegation, coming in at the end,
My
getting
God,
4
my
points in 6 weeks to stay up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I saw. I was doing the weekly show earlier. I was recording it earlier, and and I saw the Vizela in the Vizela game, the highlights, because I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
game. But do you see the goal? Do you see that one with the two center backs playing against each other, and then
No, but I probably
was
see it right
horrible.
now.
It was just amateur. It was amateur what they did. And,
Yeah.
and I said, I'm sorry that I said it, but guys, you deserve to be going down because this is unacceptable.
Those
This
are
is
the
just
thing that
unacceptable.
happen when you're going down. Yeah.
And I maybe I was a bit too harsh because I understand there's that you're nervous and everything else, but at the same time, you're fighting for your life.
Yeah.
You're fighting for your life here. So every stupid decision that you make is gonna put you not 6 feet under. It's gonna put you 18 feet under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then again, the thing that happened with Chavez, it was just embarrassing, man. Embarrassing.
No, they just that Portimonense game was so pivotal for them.
Yeah.
And they had the 2-1 lead, and they go and lose 3-2, and that just I think that was like the nail in the coffin. That was a 6-point game.
Yeah, that was it.
I mean, I think that was it for them. Once they lost that game, it was it.
And by the way, we got an exciting game this Friday, man. I'm gonna be calling that game. Gil Vicente versus Aroca.
That's a good game, yeah.
I love Aroca.
Marcelos,
I love
baby. I can picture a 3-2 late goal from Kanye Fujimoto, man. I'm telling you, man. I think that's as good we're gonna go. Minute 93, 94. But I gotta go slow because I got Benfica game, the Porto Sporting game. I don't know how my throat is gonna handle this weekend, but I think I'll be all right. All right, guys, it's time now for the predictions. Of course, like every week, Mr. Mike D'Agostino, you're in charge, please.
Pulling them up. Yeah, pulling them up.
You know, I ended up missing more games every week, man. I don't know why.
So we got Friday, like you just said, Gil Vicente Aroca.
I call it that one. It's 3-2 Gil Vicente. That's my call.
I'll go 3-3 in this one.
3-3.
I'll go 3-2 Aroca.
Okay.
3-2 Aroca.
Rafa Mojica.
Yeah.
Rapita. 20 goals.
He's got 20 goals, man.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment at a mid-table team.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think Capitan Arepas is gonna get to 20 goals too, man. Mr. John Recadis. I think he could reach to 20 goals in the form that it's getting. I think so. But anyway, all right. So we got that one. What's next, Mikey?
Saturday, Casa Pia hosting Chaves.
Oh, Jesus crap.
I got Casapia winning. Maybe
You
2-0.
got Casapia winning.
I
Derek, I'm going to go last.
2-1 Casapia. They had their chances against Porto, man.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, I mean, that
played
Claudio Ramos made it like
and they got a
miracle
fantastic
save.
goalie too.
He made a miracle save on that. I think it was Soha's shot at the end of the first half. Oh man, that was 2-1 right there, man.
And I want to say this only because I love drama. I'm going to say that Chaves is going to win. 2-1. Late goal too.
Yeah. Hector Hernandez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Double H.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got Vizela at home against Rio Ave.
Crap. Vizela, you're down. You're.
I don't think there's any saving them.
Oh yeah.
After what I saw, but Vizela Rio Ave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I got this feeling, man. I don't know why that these two teams are going to win this weekend. I don't know why exactly I'm telling you this. Might be delusional. But you know what? Matter of fact, I actually going to put some money down, man. I think I'm going to put some money down on those 2 wins, man. All right? I'm going to give the Vizela victory, too. All right.
Sammy Ascende. Sammy Ascende. It's got to be right.
Sammy Ascende, yeah, it's Sammy, man. 14 goals.
Yeah, 14. Solid season out of him, too. Yeah.
On a last place team.
Yeah.
It's insane. Derek, what do you say? You say what? You say?
I mean, I'm going to go. When it's Rio Ave, I always say it's going to be a draw.
Safe bet with
They're
them.
the king of the draws. Yeah. It'll be a 1-1.
I know.
Yeah, they are the king of the draws.
I'll go with Rio Ave 1-0 late winner.
Late winner. All right.
Heartbreaking, but that's how it's going to go down.
Yeah.
So Asue, the guy was he said Asue. That's the guy, right? Asue. Luis Asue or something. That's the striker. But anyway, what's the next one?
Benfica Braga.
2-0.
2-1.
It's
2-0.
It's I want to say 2-1.
Yeah, I actually think Benfica's been playing really good ever since the that Taça game. The game with Sporting, I think that this is, in my opinion, probably their best period.
Yeah, the play has been better.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot better. And I think they convincingly win. Braga is still struggling to win these games. Their whole, I mean, the coach leaving to go to Botafogo. That just blew my mind. I still can't get over that. Totally destabilized that team. So
I'm just wishing all the bad things to happen to that guy, man.
I don't think it'll take long.
We're playing that guy tomorrow, man.
The Brazilian league eats those coaches up in no time.
Do. I think he quit. He quit before he could get fired.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, Salvador has made his career. I mean, as the president of Braga, his job has just been to fire coaches. I mean, Sergio Conceição was one example, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So he Abel Ferreira is another one.
Abel Ferreira was fired too.
Yeah. Really? Was he fired too?
Yeah. And that's when Ruben stepped in, right? For them. And then Ruben left.
No, Ruben.
Was there a guy in between them?
Ricardo Sapinto.
Sapinto was in between. Oh, that was
Sapinto.
How could I forget that?
Sapinto. All right, what's next, guys? What's the next game?
Guimarães and Boa Vista.
Bye, Boa Vista. Guimarães.
At home, Vitória wins.
Yeah. 3-1.
And they still have a chance to catch Braga for fourth, so they're gonna go for it here.
They're gonna go all in.
Yeah. I think they still have to play each other too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That game could decide fourth place, I think.
Yeah. I'll say 3-1 also for Vitória.
Yep.
All right.
Sunday, Portimonense Moreirense.
Yeah. Moreirense.
Remember, only teams in the top 5 won last week.
Yeah,
I know. It's gonna be a draw. I
think so.
I think so too. Well, I feel Moreirense has been trending down.
Mm-hmm. Once they've been
but it's gonna be with goals. So I'm gonna say 2-2, something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be goals.
Like 1-1, 2-2.
I think 1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
And Carlinhos is playing it fantastic, man. But hopefully, I don't know. He probably ended up in another team next season. I'll sign him. I'll sign Carlinhos. I like him. For Portimonense. What's next, guys?
Estoril versus Famalicão.
Oh,
Jeez.
It's a good game.
yeah, it's a good game.
I see a draw there. I see a draw
On their
there.
day, either one of those teams can play off the park.
Yeah.
I want to say 2-2 on that one, only because I want Capitán Arepa to score twice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Yonda Cardis is going to score.
I think so too. I was just gonna say I think Famalicão is gonna win 2-1.
I think Famalicão is going to win 2-1 as well.
Yeah, I think Cadiz.
Yeah, the coaches really helped that team.
Yeah.
Evangelista.
All right.
And then the Clásico, Porto and Sporting. We want Derek to go the last.
2-1 Sporting.
I mean, I think Porto's going to go all in on this one. Like they did against Benfica, these guys are going to come in and they're going to run. I think they're going to win 3-2.
I think Porto's going to hold back and not try to show anything for the cup final. I think they're going to take it easy in this one.
You think
and
so?
I think Sporting's going to win this one.
I'd love that.
Because I think Porto's got one big game left in them, and they're going to save it for the final.
Yeah, I love that.
But you saw what Nico Gonzalez said, right?
That we're better. Yeah, we're better than them. They're going to beat them, yeah. You never say that. You never
prove
say
that on the pitch on Sunday. See you on Sunday, Sporting.
Yeah.
On one hand, you want your players to feel like they're better than who they're going to play, but
Absolutely.
Those are the kind of things that should be left in the locker room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got a Monday game too.
Yeah. So hold on, didn't you say 3-2 who? Porto.
Yeah.
He thinks Porto's going to win.
Porto's going to win.
I think Porto's going to win. Yeah.
Really?
I just think we're due. We won 16 out of 17
all right, so we're
games.
gonna do this, all right? We're gonna do this. All right. So what are we gonna do, Mikey? You gotta help me figure out something.
Okay.
To make this guy believe, because I'm gonna win this again. Last time I won, like you put the scarf on it, right? Got the black and blue, the Porto thing. So what do we do? Let's
I was just in my head.
I did. I wore the red jersey the last time.
Yeah.
I did wear the red jersey and the blue hat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So get ready. All right. Where are you at now, Derek? Where do you live?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Swansea, Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts. So how far are you from Boston?
About 60 minutes.
Yeah, about an hour. He's about an hour from me.
About an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Just thinking. So you gotta go to Boston, maybe. I make you go to Boston for something.
I'll go to Boston.
Boston. You gotta go to Boston for something.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see. You gotta go to Boston. You gotta take a picture of yourself outside of a Peruvian restaurant.
All right, fine. All right, I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I
That's
know
good.
the ins and outs. I lived in Boston for a while, so.
I know. I'm not going to tell you your name, of course. I know the place, but
he knows the.
I'll do my research. Yeah.
All right, that's your task. That's the bet that we have here.
All right.
If Sporting wins, Derek Gomez is gonna go to Boston. He's gonna drive there.
I'm going up to Boston.
Of course.
I'm hopping in the car and I'm going.
Yeah, you're gonna record it, man. You gotta record the journey.
And I will record it. Yeah.
All right. It's on. I like it. All right.
He'll have a big smile on his face too because
I will. Yeah.
You're gonna be happy driving down there, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was the last game. No,
we got a Monday game, a Monday night game. Estrela versus Farense.
Later, Jabba will take him to the victory.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think Estrela's going to win too.
I think Estrela is going to win also. 2-1 for me.
2-1 for Sheila.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We live
We
in
almost,
Japan.
I almost went by because it's right on the T in Lisbon, the
Mhm.
Reboleira. I wanted to go by and check it out, but I ended up not going. We ended up going to the Belém Stadium, the Estádio do Restelo in
That's
Lisbon.
nice, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's it. It's a nice old stadium, and like it was fun because there was like no security. You could walk onto the pitch and play.
That's
I
great.
got a picture like we're right by the field, and yeah, I could have just walked onto the pitch and like scored a goal. Yeah, like there was no.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was super cool. Yeah.
And you know what? There's this guy here. He wrote to me. This basketball guy. He said, "Man, Nino, we gotta bring you over to Lisbon, man. You gotta come here to celebrate the title with us."
Yeah.
Like, hey, send me the tickets, buddy. I'm going.
That's it, right?
So yeah, I mean, by the way, thank you all the Portuguese fans for all the love, all the messages that I'm getting. People write to me on Instagram, on Twitter. I really, really appreciate it. It feels that this is what I love to do. This is my passion. This is my job, and I'm so grateful and for the love that I'm getting for the.
You're an honorary Portuguese now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now my mom told me you better start studying Portuguese, man, because
You're the voice of the league.
Yeah, you are the voice of the league. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, guys. Thank you for this edition of Tuga Tuesdays. We're coming on to an end. It was Derek Gomez, Mike D'Agostino, Mr. Benfica, and myself, Nino Torres here. And this is the end of the show tonight. We'll see you next week.
Next Tuesday.
See you later, guys.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
guys.
See ya.